All right, the Game Awards has officially wrapped, and gamers are not happy. Fans hated Highguard being the final reveal. The Star Wars fake game so far away, it felt pointless. And now people are saying Expedition 33 didn't just win, it was a setup to win. Rigged show, bad pacing, or just expectations completely out of control. Because when the biggest night in gaming leaves this many people angry, something closely went wrong. We need to talk about it. All right, because when you strip the emotion out, this backlash didn't come from nowhere. Closing the show out with High Guard felt like a misread of the room. Finals need momentum, and the reveal didn't feel like a payoff. It felt like a show ran out of gas. Then there's Star Wars Faith. The issue wasn't the game. The game beautiful, looked interesting, good graphics. It was timing. Teasing something that's clearly years away turns excitement into frustration, especially on a night built around now and the next. And with Expedition 33, precedence became the problem. When a game is framed all night as the favorite, the wins feels predictable, and the predictable kills trust, even if the game deserves it. Put it together, and this wasn't about one bad moment. It was pacing, presentations, expectations colliding all at once. The Game Awards was supposed to celebrate gaming, not frustrate the audience. And when fans leave arguing about the structure of the show instead of the games themselves, that's when the conversation shifts. The real question isn't whether gamers are overreacting, it's whether the Game Awards are starting to lose touch with what the viewers actually want from the night.
Yeah, so once the Game Awards wrapped up, it did not take long for the drama to start stirring up. One of them, well, actually, two of them, I can actually understand, and I talked about it here on the show when we talked about So the first up, as I stated, I was not impressed with this showing, care for it, and I am thankfully happy the rest of the gaming segment felt that way too. Highguard being revealed as the final announcement rubbed many gamers the wrong way. Core issues being live service fatigue. We are so tired and done with this. Tired of making these niche, cookie cutter, mediocre ass games to try to milk the shit out of us. The market is visibly contracting, yet the game was framed as a major win. It's not. It's because, it came from the
Apex.
Yeah.
Who
Anywho,
cares?
yeah, the Apex game. So what? They made one game that is retracting. People are tired of and moving away from. So you think because they made something else in the similar vein of it, people's gonna be, ooh, no, they're tired. You have gamers calling it Encore 2.0 as if it will be DOA on arrival. Perception problem, tone deaf celebration of a model many players feel burned by. Instant skepticism instead of hype, especially among core audiences. The live service train has come and it has gone from the station, ladies and gentlemen. It's not leaving, it's not wrapping up, it is gone. The core pillars of live service that people continue to play, that is it. They are clearly the victors of that segment of gaming. If you are making a live service game now to be put out in recent times or later on, maybe you are late to the party. Hell, you late to the after party. Gamers are just tired of this. It's the same thing. More money for little effort, and then, we'll give you more content. You give us more money, but we'll give it to you when we feel like it. People are just, and I said it when we talked about it. The moment they showed it off, you can see it. You can see it in his soul. I was like, please don't just be first person. Please don't be first person, because it just looked like it. And then it was first person. So cliche. It's not worth its salt. Star Wars, Fate of the Old Republic. As I mentioned here before, and as we reported on that show, yeah, it sounds nice, but I just do not get excited CGI trailers. For good reason. They tend to burn you in the long run. When I talked about it before, game could have just been put together contractually for them to start working on. And then they show a CGI trailer just to get you amped and hyped. And I'm like, no. Every time you see just CGI, it is years away. And baby, Infamous was right. It is reported that this game is targeting a 2030 release date. That's at the earliest. at the earliest. And as we all know, these games get delayed. I don't know about the audience, but as Disney has ruined the Star Wars movies, Star Wars games are kind of getting a little long in the tooth. Yes, I understand people like the Jedi, Fallen Jedi Order games, but the reason people enjoy those because they were smart when they made them. They made them Souls-esque like games. Yes, they have difficulty settings, levels, and all that, so they know what they were doing, but they made sure to keep audience in. They attracted a certain demographic to it. This showing off trailers and shit is long away, it's got to stop. Games get delayed, and then tying in Casey Hudson. Hey, I do love you, my brother. You've made great games. This was all just to garner hype, excitement. Industry criticism. Trailers this early feel like placeholder hype. Fans are exhausted by cinematic teasers with no gameplay and no near-term payoff. Growing sentiment, award shows should prioritize 2 to 3 year release windows, not tech demos. I'm going to take that and modify that number. I feel when a game is shown off like this, it needs to be within a year scope, 2 at the most. Because once again, like I said, all the time, you showing this off and it's 5 years away, upwards of more, nothing to show but just CGI. Hell, the KOTOR remake was just a trailer. And where's that game? Nowhere to be found. Now, the last one for the drama, the Expedition 33 won Game of the Year. Hell, it won many awards. There's a growing sentiment that this game was an industry plant, if you will. You have some people even saying that it's not an indie game. Now, I didn't know this, but it did have a publisher. And to some core gamers and people of the journalism sector and corners of the entertainment industry, if you have a publisher, you're not indie. Indie is you make it and you put it out on your own time, dime, crowdfunding, however. But to have a publisher, that means you are getting help. It means you're getting money and you are a leg above the regular indie people. But at the same time, it still was a good game. Majority of the drama of Expedition is coming from naysayers and people feeling some type of way about the game, but yet they're telling themselves they also admit they didn't play it. You can't complain on something and you ain't played it. Expedition 33 won multiple awards, sparked claims of a rigged show. Irony, many critics openly admit they never played the game. Now, that's a little odd. Pattern, JRPG adjacent or a non-AAA Western title still face bias. Award success or equal mainstream popularity feels resentment. Takeaway is this is less about the game and more about genre gatekeeping. I'll say this. We watched the show. We looked at everything. There were some awards I felt Expedition did need to win or other games did better. I give an opinion on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 should have won RPG, being it is more of a RPG. A good game is a good game. This is coming off more, I don't want to say corporate bootlicking, but just your favorite game didn't win, so the game that did win, oh, it's a problem. Chill out, people. People have been talking about this game since it came out, and it came out earlier in the year. And I can say this as a 35-year-old gamer, most games that come out earlier in the year completely washed over by things that come out mid-year and later on closer towards the end of the year. It's called a recency bias. This came out earlier in this year and it has held the conversation till this day. Hell, they're making a whole new edition of the game called the Mirror Edition. Extra physical goodies. They're adding free content. They added more storyline. I believe they added a new game plus. They're doing everything we want, and yet you're still complaining. This is how those corporations see us, dumb, mindless consumers who don't know what they want, especially when it's given to you. We gotta do better. Now, my cousin and I, we have reported, hey, we don't know how these games are chosen, and we don't know how these games are picked for their winnings, the votings, etc. We don't.
Highguard, no, sir.
Mhm.
I felt like a closer. I felt like Divinity would have been a better closer because that was more eye
Mm-hmm.
shocking and the things and all that. So Highguard being the final closeout trailer was atrocious. Star Wars Faith. Listen, I kind of disagree with my cousin. Some games are taking 5 to 8 years to make. So listen, if they was to remove all the games that were more than 2 years out, then the award show probably would have been done in 30, 40 minutes. So I'm not gonna fault the game show because people want
Mm.
to go ahead and start
Mm.
the conversation for their game that is 3 years out. I'm not gonna fault the award show for that. The guy that controls the award show gets a lot of flack, rightfully so. I don't agree with everything he does. But hey, if a Star Wars branded game is saying, hey, we want to be a part of the announcements, this is, things we're willing to do for the game show, but we're 3 years out, I'm not going to say no. And, you know, building hype does happen in games over years. Some people get more and more excited. It starts the conversation piece. This has been part of the gaming industry forever. Now, yes, game development time is going up. We don't know why. You know, you would think with all the technology and AI that everybody's pushing, shit would get faster. But hey, I am not going to fault the award show for that. A lot of the games were over a year out. I'm not going to fault the award show. I just think that's, if you've been in gaming for 10 plus years, that's kind of the norm, actually, especially recently. And Expedition 33, like I said in the last video, I ain't had no issues with none of the awards they won, and I still don't, and none of this changes anything, like I said in the last video. So that's my opinion.
So if a game is shown off at the award show, and then let's just say, I have an example, 7 to 8 years go by, and that game is still nowhere near to be found, but they just showed it up just to show off.
How can you say something that's over 2 years out is the same as 7? That is not the same.
No.
That's the
What I'm trying to get at is, why show off or announce a game? I'm changing the verbiage. I'm going to say show off. Why announce a game and it's nowhere near that it's 3 to 5 years away? What is the point of announcing
what game was
it?
3 or 5? What game was 5 years out?
So Elder Scrolls 6 was shown off in 2018.
We ain't talking about that though.
No. But no, that's the example I'm giving. Games
But
get delayed.
you're complaining about Star Wars though.
Yes, this game is supposedly 5 years away. Why?
Nah,
show this trailer?
Nah, you wildin'. That's not what I read at all. So, somebody in comments, fact check that. But even still the case, that's been part of, this is nothing, even in your example, that's nothing new. Like, that is nothing new. Like, hey, and like we said, the Game Awards is not going to deny a fucking Star Wars or an Elden Scroll. Hey, if you want to come present your game, they're not going to stop it because it's X amount of years out. Like, what do you expect the Game Awards to say? Oh no, you too far out, so we can't make an announcement. Like, I don't know what you expect from the Game Awards show to say in that situation. They're not going to say no, is my point. I mean, if you want a little more mystery and before, like, within 2 years of the game releasing, I don't think you're ever going to get that, and you need to get over it, honestly, because that's just not the name of the game. The fucking Metroid game was how long? Listen, but you know what? That first trailer got a lot of motherfuckers hype, and that's the whole point of trailers. Whether it's gameplay, whether it's cinematic, it is just to build hype, build awareness, start having people follow the fucking IP. And even if it gets delayed, that's just part of the game. That is the marketing machine, and you cannot fault a game for marketing their fucking IP. Waiting to a game that is until it's 2 years out is dangerous. Maybe because you don't reach enough people, you don't spread enough awareness, and it kills your launch date sale. So I am not going to fault game show in any way for this, and I'm not going to fault a game studio saying, "Hey,
Could that not be the same thing? I was saying it too early. Could that not be the same thing?
No.
Hype is hype, whether it's short term or long term.
No. That's
And
not
just
how
'cause
marketing
it's
works.
part of the norm, that doesn't
All
make
the
it right.
marketing people in the comments would attest to this. You ever took a business class? No. The more time you spend hyping or marketing something up, it is bound to have more awareness. What you are trying to spread is awareness. Whether you spread it years, is more beneficial to your launch numbers. That's what historical data will show you. So just because you get pissed off by they presented something, even if it's 5 years, so what? Go do something else in the meantime. I saw the Star Wars title, even if it's 5 years. Okay, I'm playing Arc Raiders. I'm playing whatever I'm playing. Like, that is not in the forefront of my mind. Like, now if we get 7 years, like the Metroid situation, I'm like, all right, this game never coming out. Something happened. Blah blah blah. Like, it's the name of the game. We listen. If you older than 10 years old, you've seen this happen. Some IPs die. That's just part of the game. That's part of the gaming experience. That's part of the industry. Like, you can't fault motherfuckers for starting marketing, even if it's 5 years out. I'm not gonna fault any fucking gaming studio, because why? Even with profit margins, they still doing layoffs. So some of these games gotta hit the number. They need to spur much awareness. I'm not gonna fault them for that. It's my main point, and I'm not gonna fault the award show. It's not the first, won't be the last.
And that's it for this video. of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?